Did this ever happen to you? One minute you're peacefully lying down, and in the next, you're motivated to begin a journal. You pick up your old journal, gather all the stationery that you have, literally all of it. You start looking for designs to fill your journal up with, and you look for more designs and more, and then you're just confused. And then this happens. This was a very bad idea.
I know what you're thinking, my friend. Been there, done that. I've been there too. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to exactly avoid this and how to really begin journaling. And without any further ado, let's get into the video. So we'll start with a couple of do's of journaling and then we'll go to the don'ts. So number one thing that you have to do is to name your journal. And by naming it, I'm not saying that you have to call it cute names. I mean, call it whatever you want to. But by naming it, I want to really ask you to give it a particular genre or maybe a particular designation as to what you're going to write in the journal, right? It can be a blend of a lot of things or it can be a singular thing in itself. For example, you can make a gratitude journal, a mood journal, a self-reflection journal, just a written record of anything and everything that you want to record. Why is it important, you may ask? It's mainly because of the fact that once you designate the kind of things you're going to write about the journal or maybe in the journal, that is when you kind of remove that fear of the blank page, right? And the moment when you kind of, hit that fear into the face and just start writing, it is a very good way to start journaling. The second thing that you have to do is to take it easy. A lot of us start our journaling journeys by either getting inspired from YouTube or maybe from Pinterest. And just exactly when we're starting, we are so motivated to just paint the journal, make it into a masterpiece and whatnot. But eventually what happens that the motivation fades and we are just left with a lot of stationery and a lot of overwhelmness. Take it easy in the beginning, okay? You don't have to write everything, you don't have to do everything. You can be as inspired as you want to be by anything external of you, but you don't have to do all of it in the beginning itself.
For someone who has never journaled before, a good practice would be to just sit with the journal and write 5 to 10 statements that come to your mind. Anything and everything that just randomly comes to your mind will do, no matter how silly or insignificant it may seem. Just write those statements down, and once you're done, observe if there is any structure to it. If you take my example, I wrote about my health, my mood, sleep, my to-do list, basic chores, workout and study. And now I can use these statements to know what all I want to journal about. All I have to do is divide this information into categories like workout, sleep, chores, assignment and study, and now I have a list of names I can give to my journal.
I really think that this mundane practice of just writing things down and then later on categorizing them is very important for the initial days of the people who have never journaled before, to give them a structure to their journaling overall. This is definitely one step that takes it easy, takes the pace very slow and helps us a lot. The third thing that I want you to do is to design or maybe decide the kind of style in which you will be writing your journal, okay? For example, if you're going to make a mood journal, and let's just say that you want to classify and write what all kinds of moods you're having throughout the day and you want to record it throughout the month, then there are different ways of doing it.
The spread can be as simple as this one, just a statement describing your mood and that's it. Or you can give your mood a score, where every mood is given a number and on the basis of your current mood, a number is assigned to you and you get your daily mood score. Or you can make a color graded mood chart where each color describes your mood for that day. And you can make a colorful pizza by the end of the month which you sadly can't eat. Or you can be even more artsy and make a mood rain out of January clouds where each drop is color graded as per your mood with the key written below.
Honestly, you can choose any particular spread for any kind of journal that you want to make, but I think that the functionality and the simplicity of the journal and the spread is going to help you a lot rather than just the aesthetics of it. The fourth thing that I want you to do is to pick the right size of the journal and pick the right amount of stationery for it.
Frankly, the amount of stationery required for your journaling can be as minimal as this, or it can be as large and extravagant and huge as this, and this, and this.
I want to put it out there that although there is no correct or incorrect way of doing or maybe starting your journal, but choose something that is manageable, okay? Something that will stick with you and you don't find intimidating, because If a lot of this just overwhelms you and you think, oh my goodness, I have to buy this before I start journaling, I have to get that before I start journaling, it's not going to help you, trust me. Minimal things, minimal things, and minimal things, and you will be there in your journaling journey, and you can have as many journals as you want to after a certain amount of time. By saying that as many journals as you want to have, there are different kinds of journals. One is the basic plain paper, and the other kind is a dot grid kind of a journal in which we have small dots. Yeah, and these dot grid kind of a journals, no, they are very good, they're considered very good for the artist kind of people. So if you want a dot grid journal, you can get one too. And there is another kind of a journal which is a ruled one. It's just like a normal copy that we use in the school, or we used to use in the school, like I was in school years ago. So yeah, these are the three main kind of journals. And in case if you're looking for a cheap and affordable kind of an option, I have a few links in the description box below, you can check them out. The fifth thing that I want you to do is to find time for journaling and being consistent in it. With respect to time, I have a few suggestions that certain kind of journaling practices, for example mood journaling and health journaling, are, I feel that they can be done and should be done better at night time. Why? Because you will be able to better track the amount of water you had, you will be able to better track the kind of mood out you had throughout the day. And journalings like gratitude and affirmation kind of journalings, they can be done twice a day if time allows you, definitely.
To be consistent, make sure you keep the journal somewhere it is visible so that you remember to use it. Unless of course you wrote all your deepest, darkest and illegal secrets in it, then stuff it somewhere. Hide it. Hide it where even you can't find it. Or else keep it somewhere where it will be visible. Consistency will only come from everyday practice, so keep repeating the practice until it becomes a daily habit. Even if you're too busy or tired, just journal for 5 minutes every day to be in the momentum and build through it. It is noted that simple spreads and an easy style of journaling is helpful in maintaining consistency rather than a high maintenance complex one. So keep it simple and enjoyable.
Okay, time for the don'ts. Now, don't number one is don't try to be perfect. Honestly, the biggest reason why I saw so many people on YouTube quitting journaling, because either they were just doing bullet journaling, you know, making pretty aesthetic stuff printed out of Pinterest. See, I am not an artist, and if I go ahead and start making flowers on my journal, it's just going to go to waste, okay? And I know that about myself. So if you know that, you know, all this art and everything is going to be a little bit difficult for you, don't do it. As simple as that. Write just normally for a month and figure out what pattern you find in your journaling practice so that you can actually form a spread for it. Maybe you just don't need a mood spread, and maybe you just don't need a habit spread, or maybe a fitness spread or whatnot. Okay, just take it easy and don't try to be perfect. The second thing that I don't want you to do is to have unhealthy expectations. See, a lot of people have said that journaling has changed their lives and journaling was good for them in a lot of ways, and it is, you know, if you practice it in a certain way, it definitely is. But don't think that it's going to be a key to some sort of a lock that are your goals, and just by journaling you will be eventually reaching out to your goals. If you definitely achieve something, the journal is there. It is an evidence that yes, you were doing everything correct and this was the path that you had to follow to be successful, and it is great. But when you fail at something, the journal is there to remind you, and it is a written record just by you which says that okay, you were not doing this because of this, you didn't get this, and you know, onward it goes. So don't think that it's going to be a miracle for you, but don't think that it's a curse to you as well. One thing I also want to put out there is, very recently I've had this realization that if you want any lasting change with respect to any aspect of your life, habits, changes, behavior, you have to break it down in such a way that it is very simple for you to do. For example, if you want to be fit, you have to, you know, mold and churn fitness in such a way that it is very easy for you. Because if you just see at the bigger picture and just don't break down things in the micro, it is impossible. Like, I've seen so many people, and I am a living testament to this, that take things for exactly how they look to you and don't break them down into small, churnable, doable bits, and there you are, you have already failed without even trying properly. So yeah, just don't have any major expectations out of journaling. It's just a normal paper, it's just a normal book, and make it yours. And with that, I'm signing off. And in case if you're interested in self-development, journaling, habit kind of videos, then consider subscribing. And you can see these particular two videos if you want to make any changes in your habits. And I'm gonna see you in the next video.